What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match analysis from the match yesterday between Benfica and Barcelona in the Champions League, which saw Barcelona get a narrow victory, but most importantly a big advantage heading into the second leg next week. We're gonna discuss some of the players' performances, the team's performance, analyze some statistics from this match as well, take a look at Flick's post-match quotes, of course coinciding with 4 key things that we did learn from this game. Now before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, the first thing that we learned from this game is how crucial defensive stability is for this team from now until the end of the season in order to be successful. We have, of course, on the screen for you the SofaScore ratings for the players of the duration of the 90 minutes. You can see clearly who was the best and who got man of the match, and also you can see the ratings of the other players as well. Of course, Olmo going off with that red card, and then apart from that, you can really see a sense that there was a solid effort, but an average performance in terms of numbers, to say the least. Now, if you take a look at the average positioning of the players during this match, left hand side is the starting 11, on the right hand side is with the substitutions being incorporated. The first thing you have to highlight is that defensive line. In the last 2 games, that defensive line was all the way in the opponent's half, and look where it was in this game. That is, of course, a key adjustment, adjusting to how the game turned out, not dying on the sword of the high line no matter what. Analyze situation, see what's better for the team. You can even see with the Araujo and Gerard Martin subs as well, look how deep they are. Keep in mind, Araujo played a good solid 70 minutes as well. On the right hand side is the substitutions that came in. You have, of course, Ferran, Araujo, Casado, and Gerard Martin. Left hand side, you can see again Rafa being basically inside. Look how deep Lewandowski is as well as a striker. It is quite telling how this game did end up going. Now, if you take a look at some of the stats from this match, firstly, Barcelona did have less possession in this game than Benfica. 52% in the favor of Benfica, 48% for Barcelona. A 1.75 xG for Benfica compared to Barcelona's 1.19, which shows that a draw in this match was definitely the best, a fair result. Barcelona created 3 big chances this match, had 10 shots, 8 goalkeeper saves, 4 corners, 5 fouls, 430 passes attempted, opposed to Benfica's 438. So again, they've been even they even more on the ball. We had 15 tackles, 18 free kicks given away, 1 yellow card and 1 red card, of course. Shot map, you can see there in the middle. Of course, of the 10 shots, 5 were on target, 0 hit the woodwork, 2 off target, 3 blocked, 6 inside, and 4 outside. So quite critical with these shots, with having them coming on target. Right hand side, you can see the concentration for this match as well, where you can see Barcelona had more of the possession down the left hand side than they did the right, and of course a lot of the balls in the middle as well, due to, of course, the attacking threat of Benfica. We actually missed 3 big chances in this game with the big chances we did create. We created 3. We missed all 3. Of course, the Raphinha chance was not a big chance. 3 big chances. I can only think of maybe the Raphinha cross that he should have shot. Of course, that Lewandowski, Dini Olmo, Lamine Carvalho. Maybe those are all 3 shots. That could be 3 of the big chances there missed. 1 through ball, 20 touches in the penalty area, and only 1 foul in the final third, and 1 offside as well. So the stats there showing that it was basically a defensive show from Barcelona, alongside with the more stats here. Left hand side, you can see that 37% of the play was spent in Barcelona's defensive third. We talked about in the last game against Real Sociedad how almost 40% was in the Sociedad half, only like 5% was in our final third. Now in this game it was the complete opposite, 39% spent in the middle of the park, and then only 24% in the half of Benfica. Accurate passes of Barcelona, I think we intended 430. We had 356 successful, 10 throw-ins, 58 final third entries, 69% success rate in our final third phase, 37% in success rate in the long balls, and 33% on the crosses. Duels won, we won 50%, which isn't too bad. Dispossessed only 11 times, 53% ground tools won, 50% in the air, and 50% of our dribbles were completed, alongside 67% of our tackles won. You can see there, of course, we had 1 error that led to a shot, and Benfica had 1 error that, thankfully, by the grace of God Almighty, led to a goal. Now, I do want to discuss some of the key stats coming out from this game. Firstly is the distance covered in this game. I think the total was 110 for Barcelona compared to like 100 and 100 for Benfica. You can see the team average there 11.69 for Barcelona, 11.48 for Benfica. But look at those players and how many kilometers they ran. Pedri ran 13.18 kilometers in this game. Rafa with 11.66, Balde with 11.48, Kounde with 11.11, Frenkie with 10.42. So you're having players here basically running half marathons in games, which shows how intense the game was. But credit to, Benfica as well. You can see their midfield and their front three were running their balls off as well. So quite a running show, to say the least, but it shows that the defensive prowess all starts with efforts off the ball. That's as important as your efforts on the ball as well. Now, also in this match, this is the first time, this stat, I think this is the most mind-boggling stat I have seen probably this season. This is the first time that Barcelona has kept a clean sheet in a knockout game, just knockout game period, home and away, in the Champions League since 2019. And when I saw the stat, I couldn't believe it. Then I started thinking about it. It makes sense. 3-1 to Napoli in COVID, and then of course 8-2. After that, it was PSG. It was 4-1 at home loss, and then 1-1 away. You had then the next year was of course Europa League and the Champions League. We didn't of course qualify for the next round. Next year after that, same thing, group stages. And then last season we of course had in the first round Napoli 1-1 away, then 3-1 at home. PSG was 3-2, and then a 4-1 loss. So no clean sheet point blank in knockout rounds in the Champions League, but the first one under Hansi Flick, we get a clean sheet. It just shows how important defenses are in the Champions League, and the saying defensive win games, that's why I have there as a caption. It is a fact. And also, Szczęsny is the first Barcelona goalkeeper since 2004 to make 8 saves without conceding a goal in the Champions League, full stop. Group stages, knockouts, finals, whatever it may be, 8 saves with a clean sheet. Absolutely sensational. It was an absolutely stunning performance, not only from the defense, but also from the goalkeeper. And it's also highlighted by Hansi Flick in his post-match quotes. He came out saying, "I'm very proud of the team from the 22nd minute on with one player, and we won. I'm very proud. The team ran a lot today. Again, like I just already talked about, Tech was fantastic. We defended as a team and as a unit. Pedri's at an incredible level. I'm very happy with him. We had to change for a player after Barca was sent off. We had to change Olmo, but not because of his performance, but because of the context of the match." So again, of course, that wasn't going to be the case ever. Every game Chelsea has more confidence. I knew he could play at this level because I see him every day in training. Thank God, Mr. Flick. I told the team that I was very proud of today's performance. They did great. It was not an easy game because of the red card. I think keeping a clean sheet with only 10 players is also very important. We have a really good goalkeeper, really special, and today he did an incredible performance. He saved us and kept a clean sheet. Also, when Eric Garcia got his red card against Monaco, we conceded twice. When Casado, I think, got his red card, we conceded once against Celta. That's now 2 red cards we always concede, and now the last 2 red cards we have gotten, they have been clean sheets. Szczęsny against Real Madrid in the Super Cup final, we didn't concede. Actually, we conceded right afterwards on the free kick, but that's different. That was a dead ball from the red card. After that, we kept the clean sheet, and then also now in this game as well. So I really respect and really want to give praise to the team and how well they've adapted to games and how well they do adjust their play when they go down to 10 men. But again, too many red cards this season. I think we had 4 or 5, which is quite a lot from recent memory. Kubarsa's red card. This happens in football matches. It happened to us today. The most important thing is how we responded, and the reaction was very good. Of course, the tie's not over yet. I know we're in a good position now, but I also know that anything in football is possible. The second leg will be complicated. Love that from Flick, now giving us, the get by here. He's also asked again on why he chose Olmo to be subbed off for Kubarsi. He said, look, we made a decision at the time, of course, impulse. It wasn't easy. I wanted to have Lewandowski there to win some headers, and also he defends very well up front. And of course, we needed Araujo to be on the pitch. So I can understand his point of play. He basically chose Lua for the hold-up play. He's of course on paper and theoretically speaking should be much better than Dani Olmo on hold-up play. If you want to go for the game, maybe at home you want to have more advanced plays, you're facing maybe a really weaker team, you can risk it with Olmo, but you want to go with Lua for the overall gameplay, which again at the time in that moment during the red card, I can kind of understand why he made that. Of course, now in hindsight looking at it, it wouldn't have made much of a difference, but in that moment he did make, of course, that decision. So of course Flick there a lot in the post-match press conference, highlighting the fact that the clean sheet was so crucial in this game, and that is what dictated the result for us. Now, the second thing that we learned from this match is Flick's ability to change games from the bench. I'm still disappointed in Flick over the course of the season, not just in this game full stop, that he does fail to use all his substitutions. When the 5-sub rule came in football, I was so happy about it because I knew for a fact that players on the bench would get more minutes and more players would get on the pitch. That way you'd be able to use your squad with a lot of games coming up, Fisher conjunction, all this mumbo jumbo. Bit disappointed that Flick tends to use only 4 subs quite a bit. I don't know if he doesn't trust the rest of the players or what, but bit annoyed by that. But again, we saw in this game, his subs were crucial. We of course know the Araujo sub, how important that was, the Casado and John Martin sub to bring stability, but nobody's talking about the Ferran Torres sub. At the time you're thinking, oh, it should be Lewandowski, but if you look at it, and I kind of realized this when I was watching the highlights of the game again, the reason why Flick brought on Ferran for Lamine Yamal was defensive stability, which I also mentioned in my live stream because I am just that knowledgeable on football. What he did was he realized that Kounde was getting done. Remember my Kounde match rating yesterday? Very, very poor, 5 out of 10. The reason for that was because he kept getting outnumbered in so many attacking areas. Why? Because Lamine Yamal was staying up, waiting for a counterattack, waiting to pounce on the break, which again was his job. So what Flick did was take off Lamine and bring on Ferran. That way he put Raphinha on the right hand side to help Kounde defensively, and of course put Ferran on the left because Ferran knows to do the defensive game and the attacking game, very similar to what Raphinha can do. And in the end, Raphinha scores from being in the right position on the right hand, not the right position in the goal, but literally on the right hand side of the pitch. He scores from there. And Lamine Yamal has that chance. Does he score it? I think he doesn't. I really don't. I think, of course, he can score from that distance, but I don't think Lamine Yamal would have shot. I think he would try to dribble, maybe cut it back, maybe pass it back around to Kounde or reset the play. So that substitution, I think, was a game changer as well. Of course, alongside the Araujo one. The Araujo one was quite obvious. Of course, everyone was tweeting at it and saying it when Kounde got sent off. And again, Flick realizing his mistake from the Atletico Madrid game where he wasn't very proactive with his subs, and in this game he was. Again, the 2 game changes for the subs were both individual subs. Araujo straight in, and then Ferran coming in alone. The double change happened for Casado and John Martin. I don't know why at that point he just doesn't make a triple change, which again is a bit unfortunate. But again, alongside Ferran, we cannot forget the substitution of Araujo. He came in, and this game, from that point when he came on with the red card for Kovacic, was tailor-made for him, focusing fully on defensive abilities. When you focus on him on the ball and offside traps and holding the line in positional sense, which it is probably 8 times out of 10 for Barcelona, that's where you can see some of the flaws in Araujo's game. But a game like this, which again comes only a few times this season for Barcelona, was just pure defending, pure, shithousery, pardon my language, like I talk about with Inigo, when in doubt, boot it out, just keep it strong, and that is what Araujo's best attribute was. We saw in this game, on the ground, aerially, clearances, everything in that game from Araujo was superb, and that of course all comes thanks to Flick being super proactive and knowledgeable with his substitutions. Now, the third thing that we learned from this game was firstly how right I was about the goalkeeper position and the goalkeeper dilemma that we've had this season, and secondly how crucial the goalkeeper position is for a team like Barcelona. We've talked about it a lot over the season, especially after Ter Stegen got injured. A goalkeeper for a top team, Barcelona, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, whatever, the most important thing for them is to always be aware, always be cautious, and when you're called upon on those few occasions, to be there to pounce. And we saw it today from Szczęsny. He again is the reason we won this game. 9.5 Silver score rating, of course, played in goal in the match, played 90 minutes, 8 saves, goal preventions at a 1.18. Now, we talked about Benfica's XG in the game was a 1.19. So he basically, again, saves us completely from conceding a goal. 2 punches, he attempted 2 run outs and was successful in both of them. He had 2 high claims, 5 saves inside the box, 67 touches, 58% pass accuracy, which again was quite low because of just his long balls. And again, you can see there 27 long balls attempted, only 7 completed. So you can see his 20 misplaced passes coming in from those long balls attempted. So you could theoretically say that he had 100% success rate with his passes that he was actually trying to pass. He had the 1 ground duel and won it. He had the 1 aerial duel and won it, and was fouled twice in the game. This for me was the best goalkeeper performance in the Champions League for Barcelona that I've seen probably since Ter Stegen against Bayern Munich in the treble winning season away from home at Allianz Arena when he made those 3 unbelievable saves. I have not seen a goalkeeper performance like this in the Champions League since. Ter Stegen, love the guy, legend of the club. But in the Champions League, he never turns up. In the league, yeah, he'll do a job. Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey, yes, he's had some moments. I can list you, 20 big moments from Ter Stegen without a doubt. But in the Champions League, especially in the knockouts, I can't think of any. The only one that came to mind was that Bayern Munich semi-final away at the Allianz Arena in the second leg. Nothing else from Ter Stegen, and that's a lot of what a lot of people think in the fan base. Not me particularly. I think there's a lot more than just Ter Stegen, but Ter Stegen, of course, having big implications in our failure in Europe over the past 10 years. What Szczęsny saw today was reliability. We also saw, of course, in the game of PSG Liverpool smash and grab. They did the same thing that we did as well. 1-0 win. How did they win the game? Because their keeper kept them in the game. Again, we're not expecting miracles from goalkeepers, but for those shots that are savable, and also maybe that one unbelievable save that you have in your locker, to use them when it counts. And we saw this from Szczęsny. This man was retired in September in in Marbella in Spain, living life, grocery shopping with his family and his kids, doing absolutely nothing, smoking like it's no tomorrow. Few months later, he's a man of the match for Barcelona in a knockout round 16 in the Champions League. It is sensational what he's done. I think he's an absolute jugador. I think he's a player that when he came in, you're thinking, all right, top goalkeeper, can he still perform at the highest level? And he's answered the question. He came out after the game. He was asked, is this your best performance in Barcelona? He said, no, because my best performance is yet to come. That is the fucking mentality that I want to see. Fumador today was the reason we walk away with an advantage in the second leg. This is the reason why he is the starting keeper for Barcelona and should be even at this point when the captain Ter Stegen returns. Now, the fourth and final thing that we learned from this match is, again, how silky Pedri was. I'd of course give him a 6 out of 10 in my match review yesterday. After watching the highlights and a bit more clips and also a couple of compilations, I've realized that there's a lot more that Pedri did in the game than I gave him credit for in yesterday's review, which is why I want to bring him up in this video. Actually got man of the match by UEFA, which he said he's going to get the Szczęsny. Thank God for that. That's just robbery of the highest level. Had a great game, maybe the best outfield player for Barcelona. You could definitely argue that, but best player in the game, it goes to Fumador without a doubt. But I want to highlight Pedri's performance. 7.4 soft score rating. If you see him, of course, all over the midfield, mainly of course on that left hand side. Played 99 minutes, had 90 touches, 94% pass accuracy, only misplacing 4 passes, 2 key passes. He did 1 long ball, completed it. He did 3 dribbles, completed 2 of them. He did 12 ground duels and 1-7. Lost possession 15 times, did not commit a single foul, was fouled himself 4 times, had 1 clearance, 2 interceptions, and 1 total tackle. What Pedri did well in this game for Barcelona was control, was stability, which I did highlight yesterday, but I knocked him down points because on the ball, touch wise, especially in that first half an hour, I wasn't really too happy with that. But that second half performance, after watching it again, was stunning. And the reason why it was stunning is when he gets the ball in these random pockets on the pitch, you have 3 players from Benfica pressing him, glides past him like no tomorrow, makes that flick pass in between the space to find Frenkie, to find Rafa, to find Alejandro, just to slip into space and progress forward. His ability, we talk about, of course, Busi being such an anti-press football, like you just can't press him. I'm starting to think that Pedri is on that level as well, because it's just impossible to press him, because he'll fit into tiny pockets, he'll turn, he'll slick, he'll make the movements. I think, again, I wanted to highlight this, and I had said this, of course, for this whole entire season, his defensive work rate has improved dramatically, which of course is asked for him in a double pivot, which, at the end of the day, double pivot is relied on 2 players, especially when you have Frenkie beside you on the right, who isn't really too defensive. Maybe you have Casale, who can be a bit more pragmatic, but when he has Frenkie beside him, Pedri knows that he has to come back and he has to track back, but get stuck in there, and you can see it from his stats, like I mentioned, 1 clearance, 2 interceptions, and a tackle completed. And those are stats that you would be happy if Casale does that on a full 90 minutes against maybe a team that we dominate, right? And he's doing that in a big game in the Champions League. So Pedri is just a jugador of a different stratosphere that we have to be grateful for, and without him this season, we would definitely be in a different dynamics. He's not only the best midfielder in the world, which he's now considerably by an absolute freaking margin. He is out in the conversation of best players in the world as well. So that was a match analysis from the match yesterday between Benfica and Barcelona in the Champions League. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss, alongside of course the 4 key points I did mention in this video. Do you agree or disagree, or is there a point that I forgot to mention? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.